Hey YouTube, it's Marita and welcome to another edition of the Nurse Lounge. And in this edition, we are going to talk about my top 5 pet peeves that I have regarding nursing and basically how you should set the next nurse up for success. So if you want to see what I'm talking about, stay tuned. All right, and we're back. So I have a note card here. As you know, I like to keep notes and I like to stay on track and be accurate with what I tell you. Forgive my hair, it's sticking straight up. Anyway, so this is basically pet peeves that I have in nursing and ways you should be setting up nurses for success instead of failure. So basically what this is these are some things that I personally cannot stand. I cannot stand it, that it sets me personally back when I come in from the previous shift. So number one is change your bag of fluid. So if you are a nurse and you have a patient with IV fluids running and it's something where it's like 100 mLs left in the bag and we're about to head into change a shift, and you know that 100 mLs, because it's going at 125, is not going to last until I get out of report, please go ahead and change that bag of fluid. If you cannot change it because it has an additive in it and it has to infuse, go ahead and have the next bag of fluid either scanned, ready to be hung. I cannot stand when I walk into a patient's room or when I'm mid-report or I just get out of report and I go in there, the bag is run dry, there's air in the line, and now I have to start my shift off with not only the fact that they don't have any pain medication, but the fact that this bag is run dry. I have to now re-prime my tubing. I have to get a new bag of fluid, which can take between 20 to 25 minutes depending on what's going on with everything that's going on normally at change of shift. So please, 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 I always make sure personally, when I have a patient, if there is no additive in the bag, meaning that it doesn't have potassium in it or it's just a regular maintenance fluid, it's LR, it's normal saline, it's D5LR, whatever happens to be, I always go ahead and make sure that I've either already spiked and hung my next bag, if I can do that for the next shift, or that if I can't do that because it has an additive in it, then I will go ahead and we have to scan our medications. So scan the next bag of fluid. So if it only has like 100 left, I'll go ahead and scan the next bag of fluid, go ahead and get everything scanned, and I'll hang it on the pole. So when they come in for their shift, all they have to do is switch that bag out. And I tell them that report. I'll say, hey, you only have about 100 left in your bag, but I've already scanned it. It's ready to go. All you have to do is just spike it and hang it when you're good to go. You don't have to scan it. It's already done. And they're like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, because that sets them up for success. Always set your next shift up for success. I don't care if you don't like the nurse who's coming in. It's not about the nurse anyway. It's about the patient. So therefore, I always set up the next nurse for success. I don't leave things like that undone. Number two, 7 a.m. med pass. Or 7 p.m. either way. Whose responsibility is it to pass those medications? It depends on the hospital, really, to be honest with you. But sometimes the nurses could do a better job about passing those medications, knowing good and darn well by the time you get out a report at, say, 7:45 or 8 o'clock for us. Well, not 8 o'clock. Maybe at 7:45 we get out a report. That medication was due at 7 o'clock. We've been in report this entire time. So that means we have an hour window before and after. So therefore, that medication, I only have 15 minutes to give that medication. Not only that, I didn't even know I had a medication due because I just now went and looked at my MAR to see what I had due at whatever time and realized that it's going to be late because of you. Because of you. So definitely, definitely, definitely consider if it's something that has to be timed specifically at 7 o'clock, that either you go ahead and give report and go do it, or you let me know early enough so I can go get it done. So that's a courtesy that I like to extend to the next nurse. Typically for me personally, what I like to do as a nurse, I will say, You have a medication due at 7 o'clock. However, while you're getting a report on your other patients, I'm gonna go hang that medication for you, and I'll come back and let you know that I did it so that you'll know it's already done. That's what I do because I'm consider myself to be an astute nurse. And so I want that person, that patient, for one, not to have delayed care, but number two, I want that nurse to kind of go in with her care, knowing that certain things have already been done, taken care of for her, and she does not get behind the 8 ball at the beginning of her shift. When you come in already behind the 8 ball, your whole day is discombobulated. And that makes for a very long, terrible shift when you have situations like that. So definitely go ahead and do that 7 a.m. bed pass if you can. If you can't, you can't, but if you can, definitely do it. It definitely helps the next nurse out. And sometimes nurses will return the favor, but even if they don't return the favor, it's not really about them anyway. It's about you doing the best thing for your patient and trying to be helpful to that next nurse, whether you get it back or not. It doesn't matter. Number 3, this is a general one. Leaving stuff for the next shift to do. I cannot stand that. We have a situation where, here's an example I've had, where I had a patient who we do our dressing changes at the 24-hour mark. So that basically means that at 24 hours from delivery, we take our dressings off the incision for our C-section patients. Well, some nurses will sit there and tell them, well, hey, you can take it off in the shower or whenever you get ready. No, that's not what the orders say. The orders say take it off at 24 hours. So you should just get off at 24 hours. So in my situation, I was working night shift this day. The dressing should have came off at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. The nurse never went back and told her that she needed to make sure she got it off because the patient said she's going to take it off in the shower, which I don't do. Another situation. But anyway, and so therefore now it's shift change and that dressing is still on. So now we've passed the 24-hour mark. And by the time I found out it's still on is when I actually go to do my assessment. Mind you, I'm working a night shift. So when I come at night shift, we get a report. We kind of get everything situated with our medications and things like that. By the time I actually hit the floor doing patient care, it's about 8:30 or so at night. So it's been on since 5 or over 24 hours, but 24 hours at 5 o'clock. It's now 8:30 at night and we're beyond the 24-hour mark. Now she has visitors in her room. She has visitors. And she's like, oh, well, yeah, the nurse told me I could take it off in the shower. I said, but what she failed to tell you was it had to be done at 24 hours. So I don't allow my patients to do that in the first place. And if I do allow them to take it off in the shower, which I rarely do because I need to see what that incision looks like, then I will say, but you have to do it right now. So that patient was very upset with me when I told her, I'm sorry that you have visitors, but this right here is a risk for infection now that you've left it on for over 24 hours. We have to see what the incision looks like. It has to breathe. So she was like, so she was upset with me. She said, well, the last nurse said, I'm sorry what the last nurse said. She was wrong in that situation. I don't throw nurses under the bus, but now that I'm the nurse in charge for this, for your care now, this is what we're about to do. So we need to go ahead and get this dressing off. And if you don't want to take a shower right now because you have visitors, then I'm taking it off right now. It makes me look bad, but it is what it is because I now have my license on the line if you get an infection because you didn't have this thing on for over 24 hours. So do not leave stuff for other people to do. If you were supposed to do it during your shift and it could have been done during your shift, you should do it. If I walk in and you come tell me and you've been sitting there, so I walk into my shift and you're sitting at the nurse's station on your phone, on the computer, you booking your vacation, you shopping, and you come tell me that something wasn't done, I'm like, okay, well, I guess you have time to go back and do it because you definitely have time to go shop. So finish your job. I can't stand that because now, once again, I come in with this should have been done and it's not done. And therefore it puts me behind because now I have to do what you're supposed to do plus everything that I have to do. And it makes for a very difficult shift. So be mindful of that. Number 4, coming in late. I cannot stand when nurses chronically, habitually come in late. We have a nurse that when I see she's on the schedule and she's coming in after me, I'm like, I just throw my hands up. I'm like, I'm going to be here for a while. She never comes in on time, never comes in on time. And I'm not talking about, you know, the occasional thing where, you know, you're caught up in traffic, there's an accident, there's this, there's that, and the other. I'm okay with any of that. But shift changes at 6:45. We do report at 6:45 a.m. or p.m. And here she comes strolling in at 7:10. And we have 20-something patients on the floor. 5 or 6 of them are her patients. And I got to give her 3 of them, of mine. And now because it's taking her so long to get there, then she got to get situated. I'm like, no, I cannot stand it because guess what? Now it delays me getting home. I've already been here for 12, 13 hours. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. you need to come in on time. If you come in late, it throws everything else off. Or if you're the not receiving nurse, if you are the nurse in which you are coming in late, it throws that next nurse off. What if they're waiting on you? I've been in situations where I am waiting, or they're waiting on me to come in, and they had somewhere they had to be, but they had to leave me a written report, because they couldn't stay to do it. And there's times I feel like doing that, but sometimes I have patients that are so complicated that I have to stay and give a report, because I feel like if I don't, then I would miss something otherwise. So definitely, please work on your punctuality. Make sure you're coming to work on time. You're coming every day you're supposed to come. Excuse me, that you're supposed to come. And that if you're going to call out in your time period you're supposed to call out. Don't call out at 6:30 when you're supposed to be there in 15 minutes. Call out when you're supposed to call out if you're not coming. And these people who I'm talking about know they're not coming to work, type of thing. Not where you had a flat tire, you had an accident, you got a stomach bug. All those things happen. That's perfectly fine. I'm talking about the ones who chronically do this. All right, number 5. This is the big one right here. Number 5 is promising a patient what the next nurse is going to do during her shift. I loathe this. So, what does that mean? I cannot stand what the nurse previous was going to tell the patient what I'm going to do during my shift and when I'm going to do it. First of all, you don't know what my shift is going to be like, my schedule is going to be like. I never set people up for failure. So prime example, I had a patient in which our C-sections, we get them about 12 hours post-delivery. We get them up for the first time about 12 hours post-delivery. And her scheduled time to get up would have been about noon. I had already wrote my schedule out for the day and saying, okay, I'm going to do this, and this. Make sure I go see her between 11 and 12 or whatever to get her up, get her acclimated, get her moving, get her walking, get her cleaned up, get her beds changed, all that. I get in report, oh, well, we told her that she was going to get her up about 8:30. Well, how'd you know what I had going on at 8:30? I can't do it at 8:30. I actually have something, I have a medication I have to administer, an antibiotic I have to give at 8:30. So I can't do that at 8:30. That sets the patient up for distrust. She doesn't trust us. It builds a bad rapport between me and her because I can't do what they said I needed to do. And there's no reason why she had to be up at 8:30. Now, mind you, I did get her up earlier than 12, but when I went in and told her that I'm sorry, I have other things I have to do at 8:30. Getting you up is not a priority at 8:30 when I have a new admission coming at 8 o'clock. That I got to finish that first. So don't ever set your next shift up for failure by telling what they're going to do in exact time. I tell my patients, around this time, the nurse will come in and do X, Y, and Z. But it's contingent upon what she has going on at the time. So if she has an emergency situation come up, that's going to take precedence over getting you up. If she has this going on, it's going to take precedence over this happening. I tell my patients that up front. So that way, if she does come in and get it done, great. If she can't get it done, they're not expecting her at 8:30 in the morning to do something that's right after shift change that it cannot be done. So I never set people up for failure. Don't do that. Do not promise something that a nurse is going to do that you cannot guarantee is going to happen. So if you can't guarantee it's going to happen, don't set anybody else up for failure. That is probably my biggest pet peeve that I cannot stand, is that they will set you up for failure. It makes you look bad. And then the patients are mad at you because you can't do something that they said that you were going to be able to do. When I'm like, no, I can't do that because I have something going on at the moment. And so once I've explained that to patients, then they're okay with it. But the thing is, I should have never had to go through all of that in the first place, because you shouldn't be setting me up for failure. You should always be setting me up for success. And that's what I always do to my nurses. I set them up for success. No matter who it is, no matter if I don't like you or not, as a person, as a nurse, whatever it happens to be, this kind of ties into, have you all ever had a nurse that when you see them working and you come in after them, you're like, great. I'm going to be behind the entire shift because now I got to go back and correct everything that they done did wrong this shift. That we have a couple of nurses like that who, when they come in, they administer the wrong medication at the wrong time. They're pulling Foley's too soon. Now the person can't pee because they pulled the Foley too soon. Then I got to go back and reinsert it. Then they done pulled this too soon when the order wasn't ready for that. They have administered medication they shouldn't have administered. they practice unsafely, but when you come back in after them, you have to kind of follow up with that. And if they've administered a medication, as an example, the same nurse, she administered 10 of morphine, she administered 25 of Benadryl, and 25 of Phenergan. If you know that cocktail, you know that this person is at risk for respiratory depression, distress, depression, everything, right? So here I am walking into a situation where I'm trying to wake the patient up. Miss such and such, I can't get her to wake up. I use my tactics that I typically use. I'll call them, I'll call by their first name. I'll call them mom. I'll say, Ma. Usually most moms will respond to mom no matter who says it, because of the fact that that's just how we're ingrained. So I'll say, Ma. She was not waking up at all. When I started counting her respirations, it was 8. 8 is not safe, okay? 8 is not safe. So I had to go get the Narcan to reverse these effects so that I could get her to be more alert because of the fact of that. Who wants to walk into that? All because the nurse did not do her job and didn't do it properly. So make sure you're taking care of your patients. Make sure you're setting up the next shift up for success, not failure, as that has happened to me several times. And I'm sure it's happened to plenty of nurses. It's not just exclusively me, but that's kind of what I've been through when it comes to nursing. So definitely, these are my 5 top pet peeves. I have many more pet peeves. But those are my top 5 pet peeves when it comes to nursing and things like that. So if you've enjoyed this video, please thumb this video up. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you'll know the next time I upload a video. This is primarily a nursing channel. However, I do dip into fashion and makeup and beauty and hair and all those different things. I'm a DNP student, doctoral student, so therefore you can follow me on my doctoral journey on here as well. I'm on my fitness journey. I'm not per se trying to lose weight, but I'm definitely trying to get more fit and trying to get healthy and trying to exercise and things like that, incorporate that into my daily life. And I guess that's it. Nope, that's not it. If you look at the banner up top, you will see 2 Instagram pages up there. One of them is my Slave Curse Beauty, in which I focus on makeup, beauty, fashion, my fitness journey. And then I have the other one. If you hover over it, it says Instagram 2, and that is my Melanin RN_MPN page, where it is my IG version of my YouTube channel regarding nursing. So I have memes over there. I have inspirational quotes over there. I have things for nursing students, pre-nursing, future nurses. I have things for people coming into nursing as a second career. I have my doctoral journey on there. I have just kind of my life on there. So even my self-care regimen that I do. So definitely follow that over there as well. If you enjoy this, please thumbs it up. Leave comments below. What are some of your pet peeves? What are some of your pet peeves when it comes to nursing or to nurses or to whatever it happens to be? And for the new students, the new pre-nursing, the new whatever you happen to be, comment below any questions you have regarding nursing, even if it has nothing to do with pet peeves. Whatever you have regarding nursing, I will answer those questions. I'll create a video for you so that I can answer your questions on video in case you want to come back to that video and see what I said again, or in case other future nurses want to also check out that video and see what I have said regarding that same issue. I will be uploading a video, or by the time you see this video, a video will be uploaded on my second Q&A, some postpartum questions that some people have asked me. So if you want to see what we are talking about in the Nurse Lounge, you have to subscribe. You need to hit the notification bell. You need to join us. I upload weekly for the moment. It may change with school situations, but weekly for the most part, I upload a video, whether it be on fashion, beauty, makeup. Nursing videos come up at least once a week for sure. Until the next time, you all take care. Bye-bye.